The Doc. The Doc. What's up with Doc Rivers and this reign as the Milwaukee Bucks head coach? The Doc? For 3 years, he was he just rolling out the basketballs or at practice and selling donuts and putty pies to visitors? Let's talk about it on the Putty Pie. Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Putty Pie with Mickey and Roro. We are taking care of business. I hope you can see, because I'm Roro.
And Mickey,
What it do, Mickey?
wait a minute. Are we going to be talking about Doggy Do again?
No, we're
Okay.
not going to talk about Doggy Do again, but we have work to do, as they say, and that's to give out some putty pies. But before we get to that work, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe and comment and wherever you find our content. Like Bernie Mac would say, I don't give a fuck if you like me because we love y'all. So keep the energy and the dialogue going. And we are going to do what, Mickey?
Keep trying.
That's right. So, Mickey, we're dropping in on people's feeds this week, giving out, some occasional putty pie slices before the NFL season. And we've got a lot of time before that happens. And we got our heads on the swivel. We're trying to find out what's going on around this world and these people and all the crazy things that are happening in the world. And so those of you who don't know what putty pie, we always talk about the putty pie. If you want to know what a putty pie is, or the epitome of putty pies, I want you to go back and watch the Cleveland Cavaliers game in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Final on Memorial Day. Oh my goodness. I mean, congrats to the New York Knicks for their dominant Eastern Conference run and title, but Cleveland was so off. They had no fight. They're underperforming in the moment. Putty pie. They got knocked the fuck out like Ray J did this past weekend. 37-point loss. I mean, they were literally Cavalier. I mean, they look like the Lambda Epsilon Omega dance team. Remember that in the movie Old School where the Will Ferrell and those guys, they had no rhythm, no effort, looked like straight up goofballs. I mean, I think I might have heard like Max Struz, no, or maybe Dean Wade. They was yelling, "We're going streaking!" They were going straight home. And then there's James Harden. Every year he goes to a team and he has enough elite skills to kind of get that team excited, like they're going to do something. Then the playoff happens. Then the bad shots and the turnovers, and he's getting picked on defense, over dribbling. Then his patented step back to another playoff loss. Cleveland Cavaliers, for those who watch, is the epitome of the putty pie. But that's enough of my soliloquy about the Cavaliers because I didn't originally plan on talking about Cleveland basketball. So, let's jump into this episode because this episode is going to hit closer to home for me. So Mickey, let me know when I can give my putty pies to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh my gosh. Before you start getting all emotional about your Bucks, and I got to get the tissue out and hear all about it again. Yeah. No thanks. I got something I want to say, something I want to talk about. That's what's been going on in the world. Like you said, it's been crazy and things have been going on, and you've been focused more on, all the playoff games. I've been focused on the world. Just saying. But what's happening in some of states and the NAACP's proposal on the black athletes doing this boycott of the KKK schools. Oops, sorry. Wrong acronym. SEC. I'm just gonna say it. They're calling it Project what? Out of Bounds. Is that what they're calling it?
Operation out of bounds. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm with it because I'm from a generation. I'm not going to give you my age, but I did grow up, during the Vietnam War. I was a very young little girl when Kent State happened. As you tell me all the time, I'm a little hippie, but I love this country. I love all my fellow Americans, and sometimes we got to stand up and pull together. Mr. Johnson, he's president of the NAACP. He said, "Don't generate wealth, prestige, power for the state institutions while those states literally are stripping political power from the Black communities in these states." And, they're focusing on, and let's just bring it out to all the men and women athletes that might be going to these schools or considering these schools. It's Louisiana. It's Tennessee. It's Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, South Carolina, Texas, and let's not forget the lovely state of Georgia. And I had lived there because those states are rallying to take away representation for African Americans. And those colleges are going to these black athletes and going, hey, we'll pay you this. We can list how the percentage of black athletes at the schools that play sports that do not graduate, they get paid money. Depending on the school, it could be 150,000, it could be a couple million, right? And I understand that. But fellow Americans, it's time. It's time for this generation to take a pause and go, we have to, we got to do this. And just not the black athlete to go to a state that wants them to be represented and sees them as an American citizen that has rights and should have representation. The alumni of these schools need to stand up and they need to speak up. They can't just sit there and wear their little pins or have their little banner or be at the games. No, they need to step up or step out and they need to be called out. They need to be called out because where they're putting their money is only to win a championship or to win a trophy. That's all they're doing. And these young athletes, they need to stand up. They need to stand up because, well, and I won't, call them that again, but SEC, they spend a 30 to 50 million per school on
Football,
football,
yeah.
on football. And I want this generation of African American athletes stand up, do what the generations before you did, and see that this is your time. This is your time. And I want to go somewhere I'm going to walk around that state and I'm going to know that I'm represented and I'm also respected. And I'm
Right.
not gonna let it this is your bridge in Selma. This is your moment. Because as you and I were talking, I always remember the poem or the speech from the gentleman during World War II. First they came for them. I said nothing. Then they came after them. I said nothing. Then they came for me. There was nobody there. And I'm just letting know they're coming for me as a female too. And all the
Mhm.
women out there in America, they're coming for us. We're next, right? We're next. And that's also to the female athletes out there that go to these colleges. They're coming for you, regardless of your color. They're coming for you too, unless you want to get a degree in home economics, and they ain't gonna pay you for that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
You know what?
that's my beef right now, and I know that 24/7 in this house we have sports on. I can wake up in the morning and ESPN is, or I could be watching soccer. What's going on, and he doesn't even really know the rules of soccer, but it's sports, and we watch it all. So that's what I got to say.
Yeah.
Um, you
No,
know,
I think
go
you
after
make
those,
good
go
points.
after those colleges. But go ahead.
Yeah, you make good points. Like you said, 30 to $50 million for per team in SEC, those states you name on football, and then about another 20 on in basketball. And so we know where the tantalizing part of it is. But at the same time, you want to be a part of a community that you're representing, they're cheering for you, and you hope that they respect you once you're out of that stadium. Because I feel at times like we're going back to the days of Remember the Titans. You remember that movie with Denzel and he was Coach Herman Boone and I mean, are we potentially entering this era of shut up and dribble on steroids when they start to do these redistricting and taking away people's voting representation? You're going to play sports, but you're not going to be represented in everyday life. I don't get that part. I just think the movies like The Great White Hope where Jack Johnson and he was, being persecuted because he was unapologetically free, trying to be a sports athlete as well as having freedom. So it feels like this political environment can lead us to potential regression back to those times if we're not careful. And listen, I think Coach Boone, Denzel had it right in the movie that when remember the scene where they were taking a late night run through the woods and they ended up at Gettysburg and he sat the team down and gathered the athletes and he said, if we don't come together right now on this hallowed ground, we too will be destroyed. Just like the people that fought here. I I don't care if you like each other right now, but you will respect each other. And in order for teams to play like capable men and women, it's going to start with respect. So slices of the putty pie to those who are willing to respect each other. And that includes on the field and off the field. I hate when when politics enters sports, like you said, I like sports a lot. And so Putty Pie's the politician who's dragging these things in and making it difficult. There's certain, like you said, certain times in history where people, athletes need to lead the way because life doesn't happen in a silo, but we might be reaching that moment. But just don't put it on the college kids. Let's not put it on the college kids like the NAACP said, because professional athletes, they're more equipped than the college kids to kind of be influences on some of
Agreed.
these states. It's kind of like, remember when they used to send you in, you used to tell me, Mickey, or the story they send you in to go ask your dad if you can go to the movies. That's what we're doing to these kids if that's all who's going to be responsible for making the
In
change.
context, just so folks know, I was the baby. I was the youngest of 4, and I had big old cheeks and a lisp, and they'd make me go, and I'd be, "Daddy?"
Yeah.
And he never said no to me, so I was sent to ask everything. But go ahead.
Yeah, I like musical reference, and I reference Q-Tip in his song with Raphael Sadiq. We fight and love so much, and sometimes I'm confused of who we are as Americans. That's who I am. I just say respect each other, and when you play in the sports, respect the game of life, and inside the stadium. That's what I got. But there's more to come, obviously. But I'm glad you brought that up. But now can we talk about Doc the Doc and the Bucks? Can we talk about that now?
Hang on one second. Let me just get
Come on. I've been fired up about this since I heard about it. Listen, Putty Pie to Doc Rivers and the Milwaukee Bucks. Y'all ate too many of those putty pies this year. 25, 26. Just too many. I mean, I felt all season that Doc was sagging on his pimping. All year, sagging on his pimping. I know I know he went to Marquette, maybe got caught up in some of the old cheese curd places that eat putty pies, but he was eating putty pies. And unfortunately, as Bucks fans, we didn't find out until Miles Turner went all Whitey Bulger on his podcast with Brianna Stewart. He spilled the beans on something that I think we all felt or knew as Bucks fans. The Bucks had no discipline, and it started with Doc Rivers. Hearing that the coach issued no fines and was lax on tardiness, especially for Giannis on certain flights. What? What? The result was one of the worst coaching performances of Doc's since early 2006 with the Celtics.
he got fired, right? He got fired from the Celtics, right?
Right. He got fired for the Bucks. And now that he's fired, we're stuck with a limited roster and undeveloped young talent. So did we need Doc? Instead of like turning his blind eye and being undisciplined in the team, he should have done like, James Brown did. He used to be what he used to do. That's right. Give him the old hand signal. You get fined $5 instead of $5. It'd be these they make a lot of money, $500. I don't know, but hit him with
Well,
the hand signal, right? And
inflation too.
right, so you give him a couple more. All, all I would see all year was Doc, bent over. If you watch a Bucks game, he bent over, looking at the floorboards, and I'm like, is he playing Jenga or what is he doing? You
Well, I
know?
think he's a little more advanced in, like, board games and stuff like that. I think he's on his phone playing Candy Crush.
It sure looked like it. I mean, it was messed up. Glenn Rivers, his name. He was not the DOC. He was not the DOC in Milwaukee. He didn't have the formula, and he wasn't funky enough. And the Bucks could have been better with Coach Carter. It couldn't have been with him. At least he had some discipline.
And he also had the Linda play.
That's right, the Linda play with the pick and roll Linda play after his sister with the big afro. Yeah, I mean,
I know. Maybe it would have been better with Ike from the
or
Swag.
Ike. Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe something. But Coach Rivers was straight up eating putty pies. Listen, Doc, I know you got in the Hall of Fame, but stay off the pies if you want to continue to do these coaching things. I mean, but I'm not sweeping it under the rug either. Let's not let Giannis off the hook. He had cream putty pie filling on his side of his lips all last year. I know he was injured despite the injuries. If the rumors are true and he set the tone for the tardiness, I mean, it's more Giannis' team than it is Doc Rivers' team. So Giannis, and are you in or are you out? Are you in flight mode or fight mode, or just leave us to rebuild if you're not. You know what I mean? So no, but I'm not done yet. Give out a Putty Pie to Miles Turner too for straight snitching, straight snitching. Sure, I mean, it sure seems like he wants to get out of Milwaukee. I agree with Dream. I agree. He looks like he want to be out of Milwaukee. He's not even being slick with it. I mean, you can see Putty Pie, Kringle crumbs leading straight to him, straight to him. So Bucks organization should go see the doctor, but not Doc Rivers. Leave him alone. No more Putty Pies, no more Kringles. Let's reset and get this team back to fighting and representing the Brew City. Stop eating the Putty Pie. I knew it all year. It was just confirmed. So that's what I got. That's what I got. I got to take a breath.
Kind of, once again, that was a lot, Ro. That was a lot. It was a lot. I think you gave out like 25 putty pies.
All deserving too.
Yeah.
They were all
A lot of
deserving.
playoffs going on, a lot of putty pies in Ro's world. Me, I gave out one,
Yeah, that was a heavy one. That was a dense one.
I gave out one to the colleges, I just
Yeah.
want young athletes to
But yeah,
boycott and thank God you didn't even get to talking about hockey because that would have been like another 5 minutes and another 10 putty pies, I
yeah, I
think.
know. The Avalanche. Yeah. But we got more to come in the next few weeks. 'Cause like I said, it's hard to keep up with all the things that are going on in this world. And we're, trying not to be in the political spectrum because it's impacting our sports world that we love so much. Please put down the putty pie, folks, or you'll be on this show. That's what we got this week. As always, I am Roro,
And I'm Mickey.
and we're out.
Peace.
Peace.